FIGGIE Fiends and Collectors, this is me, Daniel East 1000, back again with a Star Wars The Black Series figure review. Today we're going to be kicking it back in the past with the original trilogy. Seems weird saying that because it's been prequel trilogy focused more recently, but nonetheless we're going to be having a look at one of the ultimate glup shittos, a character that a lot of us have been waiting on for some time, and well, now finally we can add him to our collections. I'm of course referring to none other than Momaw Nadon. Momaw Nadon. Momaw Nadon. Hammerhead to you and me. I think that's how most collectors will know him as, from the original Kenner vintage line, where he was always branded as Hammerhead. As always, before taking a look at the figure itself, we're going to have a look at the packaging of which the figure comes in. Of course, it's this new style packaging, which takes a lot of the bones from the old and brings in a lot of the new as well. So you don't have the beveled edge, and of course that colour banding in the traditional Black Series box. Something worth noting as well, this is considered deluxe because he is a chunkier, bigger boy, so they've had to put him in a slightly bigger box. First and foremost, we've got Stars of Black Series at the top there. You've got that big window style packaging, so you can see the actual figure in store, see what you're getting in terms of the accessories. I love the imagery and the colour they've put on the backdrop of the packaging, just makes the figure pop a lot more and stand out. With this particular one, don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but there's sort of like a cantina window archway, and that's coloured in the orange, which is used as the colour band around the actual packaging itself. Of course, you've got the name of the character there, the number, Star Wars A New Hope, film that it appears in, Hasbro, and some legal MacGuffle at the bottom there. On this side, nothing much going on, just Star Wars The Black Series and that colour band. And on the other side, you've got that lovely artist render of the character himself, looking very, very cool in that cantina background. I find it very interesting that they've given him a blaster, because to me, this isn't really a particularly action-orientated character. I know the original Kenner figure came with a blaster, and I'm sure he probably would have a blaster on his person, especially living on Tatooine. But you know, he's a cantina Denzine. He's a drinky boy. It would be nice to see him with a cup in his hand, but maybe they can't promote drinking on packaging. You've got the colour bleed off there as well, the name of the character, and then on the back you've got a nice picture as well, a bit of a bio, which I will include in the description down below. That was the Black Series, again, number and name of the film that the character appears in, and a ton of legal garb at the bottom there, and at the bottom there as well. At the top, there's no window to let any light in, which is kind of weird, and yeah, that's it. That's the packaging pretty much out of the way and done with. Let's now take a look at the figure itself. So here we have Hammerhead, or Momaw Nadon, looking very, very cool, very chunky figure. This is one that I've been really anticipating, particularly when Gregory Titus showed off some artwork all those many moons ago, thinking, when is Hammerhead coming to the Black Series? And it's taken him a hot minute to arrive, but he's finally here in our collections, slowly growing out that Cantina Denzine Rogues Gallery that we've really needed for our displays. So, looking forward to see what the next Cantina Patreon is going to be next, but this one was always going to be a given to be done, just because he's just an iconic looking boy. And particularly as well, for those of you who might not have seen it, I did a review on the Galaxy's Edge Disney Store Hasbro Pulse exclusive Dokkan Darth, which is an Ithorian, an alien similar to this, and I did say in that review it was clear to see a lot of the bones of that figure were going to be used for this one. So even though arguably Hammerhead is the more iconic one of the two, he wasn't actually the first Ithorian in Black Series to be made. But that's fine. Any way to get the parts produced in preparation for a release like this. I mean, there are still some new parts used here, because there are some unique differences between Hammerhead and Dokkan Darth. Namely, if we just take a close up at the head sculpt. Now, Hammerhead has a very slug-like look, particularly in the colour palette, I would say. It does look very haggard and very sort of squinty-eyed, like he's got beer goggles on. He's very, very crunk in the Cantina Club. I've got him displayed for GR because obviously he's been having a couple of drinks. He's been enjoying himself. And he's about to be get 2 more, please, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, two to be polite. He's just a bum. From looking at him, he's just a standard little alien boy. He just stands at the bar, does his thing. He just wants to have a little drink. Just leave me alone. I want my drink. I'm just a sluggy boy, just doing my thing. But that head sculpt's fantastic. I love the browny, dishevelled colour that they've used on him. It's very iconic to how he appears in the film, as briefly as he does appear. You've got some very cool details around the back of the head. Just lots of sort of weathering marks, sort of like make him look aged. You got these holes at the back here. I don't know if there is, so we can hear ants on a postcard. But you've got his gills as well, which is how they talk. And but interesting enough, it's got a little bit of a mouth hole there. I don't know the anatomy of Ithorians. You've got a little hood as well, which is covering sort of the joint from the head to the body. Very nice little scarf. Does look a bit dapper with that. And then this really sort of basic looking body. But of course you've got these hands which are reuse. I'm pretty sure the body as well is reused from Dokandar. The arms there, and then on his belt you've got a few pouches, belts. You know, he's got to have a place to store his beer money. There's so much world building you could create with this guy. Just look at this figure. You can tell so many stories with it. Like maybe he's brought the packet with him. Bit of sniff for the club. I don't know. It's up to you how you want to interpret that. But looking at him, he's sank a few jars. He's here for a good time. Moving down, you've got his big chunky feet as well. Of course, the tattered sort of shorts. Really nicely detailed and weathered. Now, in terms of the accessories that come with this figure, they all make complete sense, really. He comes with a couple of glasses, so one of them I've got him holding here, and they are slightly different to the ones that we've seen come with other Cantina and Jabba's Palace designs. So they have slightly recoloured them to be different, a bit more uniquer. So you've got that one there as well, and then there's also this black one. He comes with a lot of glasses, and that's kind of cool because, you know, as we progressively add more Cantina aliens and designs, everyone gets a glass. Everyone can have a little drink in that Cantina. So I'm pretty pleased as punch with that. In terms of the last accessory, as you did see on the artwork, it does come with that blaster as well, and I'm pleased to show as well that this particular Stormtrooper blaster is the original trilogy version of it. Shock horror. This isn't the Rogue One version that they always seem to pack in with Stormtroopers and figures now. This is actually an OT Stormtrooper blaster. And the reason why I know that is because it doesn't have the little laser sight attachment that goes on the side there. It's just completely plain, just a straight up blaster. Funnily enough, I actually have one of the blasters, so I can show you a point of reference. So as you can see here, this one has a little sight, whereas this one does not. This is the more traditional original trilogy sort of Stormtrooper blaster, where this is the more Disney-fied Stormtrooper blaster. What I would have really liked to have seen, though, as a bit of a nod to Power of the Force, would be the ridiculously massive gun that figure came with. If they packed that in with this one, or even the staff. I'm pretty sure there was a Saga collection release that had Momaw Nadon. How I had it come with this big long staff. It just would have been nice if they'd put that little extra sauce, that extra detail in there as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing. But alas, as we saw with the Bib Fortuna, they didn't really do that. They did kind of cheap out with that one. And I wouldn't say they've really cheaped out with this one because everything is all new. He's a big, chunky, solid figure. In terms of his articulation, he's got a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, and there's also a butterfly joint in there, so you can get some real good posability. Ball-jointed elbows, ball-jointed wrists, ball-jointed torso, ball jointed hips, swivels at the tops of the thigh as well, ball jointed knees, and ball jointed ankles with the rocker joint. So you can get this guy in some really good diverse poses. He is a must-have for anyone who's looking to build up their Cantina diorama. Once again, I hope we get some more diverse Cantina aliens in the years to come. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to get next. Even more so, how they're going to use the parts from this in other figures, because I'm sure there's other ways that they can use that base body for other stuff. For my mileage, I'm really pleased I picked this one up. I think it's relatively worth the price point, although again, it's going to depend on your mileage. So let me know what you guys think. Have you picked this one up? Are you planning on picking this one up? Sound off down below. And while this is me, Daniel East 1000, sign out. Thank you very much for watching.